We see the kids working on some projects. The teacher is displeased with Ian's performance and attitude and gives him bad grades. Pete asks for a sneak preview, so Clark looks at the grades with his x-ray. After class, Ian asks how much he got. The teacher says it's a C. Ian's mad as he needs high grades for the Luther Core Foundation scholarship. He grabs the teacher and says it's unfair. He's then pushed off. Someone suddenly switches off the lights. Loud music starts playing and Ian holds up a welding flame. When the teacher turns, he's stabbed by Ian, who's suddenly behind him. Lex got a parking ticket. He says he was about to give some golf clubs to charity. The man says why he complains if he can afford that. Lex is unhappy. He then grabs one of the clubs and starts smashing the guy's car and tells him to get a real job. Clark's helping Lana with moving into Chloe's home. As Jonathan's fixing the tractor, it suddenly falls on his leg and he's stuck. Clark arrives home. He hears his dad shouting his name. Clark saves him. He sees that his leg's broken. Ian is at the torch. He needs some books that Chloe borrowed from the library. He's planning on finishing school as a sophomore as he has been studying very hard. Chloe's intrigued and wants to interview him. Jonathan's at the hospital. They called Martha, but she was busy at work. Lex arrives. He wants the best care for Jonathan. Dr. Bryce says it's just a broken leg. Clark says that his mom blames herself for the accident. Clark also heard about Lex's rage attack. Chloe praises Ian's high studies and he wants to take her out. Ian tells Clark he has an A. Clark tells Lana he won't be able to help her with math due to his dad's incident, but Ian offers his help. She agrees, but Clark's visibly jealous. Ian goes into a room. He undresses and is seemingly in pain. We then see something come out of his body. It is a double of him. One of him then leaves with Chloe and the other is seen with Lana. Jonathan wants to work, but Clark has taken care of everything already. Martha's staying home, but Jonathan doesn't want to disrupt their schedule. Jonathan still decides to work. Martha feels guilty as the farm should be handled as a team. At school, Ian kisses Lana. She tells Clark they're going to see a movie tonight. Clark wonders what Chloe will think as they were going on a date but bail to help her out. She doesn't believe him and wants him to stay out of it. Lex comes to an anger management class. He finds Dr. Bryce there, and she also had an incident. He wants to go out with her afterwards. She rejects him and then says that he probably doesn't remember her. Clark tells Chloe to be careful of Ian as he seems close to Lana. She says that Ian told her that Lana's into him, but he's into Chloe and doesn't want to hurt Lana's feelings. She then says that Clark can't imagine anyone choosing her over Lana and then walks off. Clark tells Ian that he's playing the girls, but he turns around on him by saying that he dumped Chloe a day after spring formal and Lana said that he sends out so many signals that he can scramble a radar. He then says he'll leave town once he gets his scholarship. Clark says he's just using them for his goal. He's told he's just jealous. Clark then mentions the C he got. He says he never saw any grades, but Clark suspects him for the absence of the teacher the day after. Clark goes with Pete to check out the teacher's classroom as he apparently has not called in sick as Ian claimed. When Pete checks a particular door, the teacher's corpse falls out. When Clark helps him, suddenly a fire erupts. Clark gets Pete out of the way just as a barrel explodes. When Clark looks, he sees Ian behind the fires. Clark enters the home. He then finds Ian and Chloe making out. He tells her that he killed the teacher and also tried to kill him just 20 minutes ago. Ian says he has been with Chloe for the last 3 hours. Later on, Lana says that Chloe is giving her statement to the sheriff. Lana's mad that he accused Ian. Clark says he's just looking for an alibi. Lana claims they were doing an interview, but he tells her that they were making out. She was told that Chloe has a crush on him, but it's nothing serious. She says that Clark is overreacting. Lexton remembers the doctor years ago after a night out when he got ill. She attended to him at the hospital. They then talk. She then wants to go out with him afterwards. Clark got some papers from Lex. He says that Ian has been taking different classes at the same time. Clark wants to try out something. He tricks Ian by paging him to Chloe's house at 5:30, but she's not home. At the same time, at the Talon, Pete calls Clark to confirm that he also saw Ian there. Clark calls Chloe, but she doesn't pick up. Lana tells Chloe that Ian is playing them both. Ian then enters. He says that he enjoyed being with the smartest girls. Together, they are almost as equal. When they mention that Clark warned them, he mentions the paging, but they didn't do this, so he then closes the door. When they try to run away, his double also attacks. When Pete and Clark arrive, they are already gone. Pete finds a supposed suicide note of the girls that they're ending it at the dam. Ian drags the girls out of the car and tries to throw them over. As Chloe pulls away, she hits her head on the ground. Lana also runs off. Ian then picks up Chloe and throws her over the dam. Clark suddenly jumps in and manages to catch Chloe before the fall. Lana then goes over the edge with Ian. When Clark returns, Ian hits him. He then throws him. Ash is hanging on. Lana calls out to Clark. He manages to grab her. Ian then falls as he pulls her up. Later that night, Jonathan tells Martha that things have been different after she started to work for Lionel. She says that he and Clark will always come first. Chloe and Lana talk about how they were fooled. They then meet up with Clark and apologize. He's just upset that they dismissed him that easily after meeting Ian. But Chloe says that he has been less than honest and shouldn't blame them for their doubts. Clark says that the truth is that he expected more from them. Lana replies that they expected more from him. They made a mistake by choice, but Clark says they should stop treating him like a jealous boyfriend as none of them have actually dated. He just wants to be friends. Lana then asks if that's what he really wants. He says it is. They then look upset. He walks off. When he's outside, he smirks and then walks away.